is maintaining its stance that its parliamentary candidate for Ablekuma North, Nana Akua Afriyie, won the December 7, 2024 parliamentary elections by a margin of 414 votes, securing 34,613 votes against the NDC's Irabina Oben, who had 34,199 votes. The party has vehemently rejected the Electoral Commission's EC decision to conduct a rerun in 19 polling stations on July 11, 2025, calling it unlawful and unnecessary. Addressing a news conference today, NPP General Secretary Justin Kodia Frimpong presented copies of pink sheets to buttress his claim that the party's candidate won the Ablekuma North seat. He insisted that the EC directive for a rerun contravenes a High Court order for the Commission to recollate and declare results. Let's take a listen to him.
Our engagement with you this morning is very simple. That we have our evidence, undeniable evidence, overwhelming evidence to clearly show that we won the Ablekuma North parliamentary elections.
No change.
And yesterday, when National Executive Committee met, we said that under no circumstances will we be intimidated.
Yes.
Under no circumstances will we be coerced to go for a rerun. We will not go for any rerun. The new Patriotic Party will not go for any rerun. We have won the elections. We have won the elections. What we are asking the Electoral Commission is to follow the court directive, to finish the coalition and declare our candidate Akua Afriyie as the MP for Ablekuma North. Madam Electoral Commission, Madam J. Mensah and the team, please follow the directive of the court, which is complete the coalition and declare the winner for Ablekuma North.
Well, that's Justin Frimpong Kodia, is the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, the opposition NPP. But what's the Electoral Commission really going to face in the coming days?
Well,
Isabel.
There's a legal showdown as the NPP parliamentary candidate for Ablekuma North, Nana Akua Afriyie, challenges its decision to rerun elections in these 19 polling stations. In a suit filed at the High Court, the NPP candidate described the decision to conduct a rerun as arbitrary, capricious, unlawful, and politically motivated. And these are the reliefs that she is seeking. First of all, she's seeking an order of certiorari to nullify the EC's July 1 decision, arguing it violates a prior court ruling. Now, an order of prohibition to stop the July 11 rerun, contending it lacks legal basis under Regulations 42 of CI 127, which allows reruns only for tied votes. And lastly, she's seeking a directive compelling the EC to comply with the January 4, 2025 court order to collate and declare results from all 281 polling stations and not conduct fresh elections. These are the things that she's seeking from the Electoral Commission, Alfred.
Let's stay a bit further on this. And Professor Smart Sapong is a political analyst. He's joining us on the telephone. Prof, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Good evening, my brother.
Now, so this decision by the MPP to withdraw, in fact, not take part in the Ablekuma elections in the 19 polling stations in that constituency, is it going to help or hurt the party from where you sit?
Right. So, a good evening to our cherished listeners. In my view, they are defending what they think is the outcome, the genuine outcome of the elections. I think in the press conference, they demonstrated with some polling results to suggest that the election was conducted and properly endorsed by agents as well as the presiding members. And so they may want to battle that one to the logical conclusion, and they have found their way to the court, as we are told. what I think would be the way forward would be for them to urge the court to decide quickly, because the argument is that would the EC alone unilaterally be clouded with what it takes to declare a rerun, and they sort of seek the court's intervention or clarity on that. Once the court declares that the EC may not, then the EC may have to find a way of continuing with the coalition. But if the court says the EC has the authority or should go ahead with the rerun, I am sure as a political party, they may relook at today's decision and then maybe participate, in my view.
And considering the point that this is a constituency they have won since the constituency was created, I mean, and then again, going into this election, they continuously have held the view that they won this election on December 7, 2024. So how is the decision to pull out really going to cement that position as well as also ensure that their hold on that constituency is not diluted?
Well, so they have been winning, and today they say they have won. And I'm sure in court they may demonstrate with evidence from all the 281 pink sheets suggesting that they have won. What is happening right now hasn't got to do with the political parties. I'm not sure it's much of the issue with NDC and NPP as usual. I think currently the problem is with the Electoral Commission, who is unable to independently collate its own elections. I'm sure the pink sheets that political parties do have would have been given to them by the Electoral Commission. So it is a challenge with the Electoral Commission that is leading us into this ongoing chaos. Else, if the Electoral Commission could go ahead, you conducted the elections, you give the political parties the copy pink sheets that they have. So you go ahead, do your collation and declare. But I hear there are some challenges. They say some of their pink sheets cannot be found, it's been torn, it's been this, that. And earlier today I suggested that it's a lesson. They must learn to have a backup plan right there at the polling station before they get to the collation centers. That is for going forward. But currently, as we speak, if a political party says, yes, you gave me 281 pink sheets and I have them, and the Electoral Commission says, I do not have all, or I cannot verify all, and so let's do rerun in 19, I think we would blame very little on the political parties, but more on the Electoral Commission, who needs to perhaps do a better job next time.
In talking about the Electoral Commission, you recall they gave specific reasons why they got to the point of that decision to conduct this rerun, is it not? Right. I mean, after meetings with both the NPP and the NDC representatives, and then also the consideration of the fact that the returning officers and then the polling station officers could not verify the details of some of the results on the scanned pink sheets provided by the New Patriotic Party. What else could the Electoral Commission have done, really?
Well, the Electoral Commission should have come with its own version of what is the true pink sheet. And that is why I have some little blame for them, because they must find a way of securing their own documents. Elections at Ablekuma North wouldn't be that which could go undercover, because in Ablekuma North, by the credit to your good media house, you gave us full details. And as at close of elections, there was no indication that some polling station in the constituency could not complete, or there was chaos, or there was some level of disruption at any polling station in Ablekuma North. So what it means is that to the polling station or to the election unit where the election took place, what the constituents needed to do was done. The counting was done in the full glare of all people gathered. Witnesses from the NDC and NPP and other political parties were there. And so the problem is with having done the right thing and elections having ended, what else followed up? And I think that is where the EC would have to. Next time, this one is a sports note. Next time, there should be a backup plan such that if political parties are saying we have scanned copies of this, you should also come with your scanned copy, and not to say that I didn't scan. And the original ones I am keeping to, perhaps there was some disruption at the coalition center, and so you can't find them. and it forms basis for a rerun. This time, what has happened, and I know perhaps with the intervention of the courts, we can find clarity to what is going on. But more to the next opportunity, Electoral Commission should also, under circumstances like this, be able to provide its own scanned version of the pink sheets it gave to political parties, so that when the disparity is between pink sheets from the Electoral Commission, scanned or unscanned, and pink sheets from political parties, naturally that of the Electoral Commission would be considered more genuine than that which comes from the political parties.
Professor Sapon, appreciate your time on this. Thank you so much for joining us. He's a political analyst, and I also engaged Musa Dankwa, as a director of the Global Info Analytics. He had indicated that per his forecast ahead of the 2024 parliamentary elections in the Ablekuma North constituency, although the NPP had won the constituency since it was created, there could have been a flip. This is why he also did that survey.
Won by NPP since it was created, and it was deemed to be a safe constituency for the NPP until we spotted the danger in the period prior to the last election. Indeed, the last poll that was conducted in Ablekuma North before the elections, around October 15th or so, NDC was leading by a whisker, by just 0.0 something percentage points in the Ablekuma North constituency. So for me, it wasn't surprising that the results of the election was on a knife edge.
I see. But then again, you categorize it in the Dom Kwabenya kind of situation, that there was going to be a possible flip.
Yes, it was supposed to be flipped, even though we knew it was very close. And any race that was very close, NDC won them. So this wouldn't have been different from the rest of the areas we saw, and NDC was winning.
I see. That's Musa Dankwa, Global Info Analytics Executive Director there.
In other stories tonight, Minister for Roads and Highways Kwame Adboja Governs has